Hey, what's going on, good people? Welcome to Russ Can Fly. All right, time for a post-annual inspection cleanup.
Oh my goodness, Russ Can Fly.
All right, so one of the things that I have never done on Charlie, and I'm ashamed to admit it because it's been almost 2 years since I've owned her, but I've never cleaned the airplane thoroughly. Now, yes, I have cleaned the control surfaces, the wings, you know, the front of the cowling, the spinner, that kind of stuff, you know, for bugs and, you know, those things when I'm flying in the summer. But I've never cleaned under the belly or underneath the wings or on top of the airplane, none of that kind of stuff. So that's something that I'm going to do today. Now, as you can see, I got my Aerocreeper out and I'm ready, and I'm going to put this bad boy to use. Great piece of equipment. I've talked about that in a previous video. So if you're interested in learning more about that Aerocreeper, because that's going to help me get underneath the airplane, you can check out that video. And I go through the whole unboxing, soup to nuts. Great piece of equipment. Now, this may be a little bit anal, but I've decided to get this pack of, just from Autocraft, some microfiber towels. I got this 50 pack and I like the multiple colors because what I want to do is to be able to distinguish between which part of the airplane I'm cleaning and which microfiber towel I'm using. So I'm probably going to use the gray for like the underbelly, the underwings and stuff like that. The lime green will be more for, you know, the airframe, the top, the wings, and that kind of stuff. And I'll probably use the blue for the windscreens. That's why I don't want to mix these things, because I don't want underbelly to be used on the windscreen and I'm smearing oil all over the windscreen and all that kind of stuff. And of course, I've got my eye protector gear. I usually always use this, and then like some of these like black nitrile gloves. Now, one of the things I'll say about eye protection, I think anytime you do anything on the airplane, you should wear eye protection. I will tell you that one time I was being a little cocky. I wasn't wearing eye protection and I was mowing my lawn, and you know, it was so crazy, but I remember hitting something on the lawn and I saw it come up off of the lawnmower and it was coming towards me, and just as it was coming towards me, I turned my head and it kind of caught my cheek. And it was like a piece of rock or stick or something, but if it had hit my eye, wouldn't have been a good day. So ever since that day, I wear eye protection, period, full stop. Don't pass go, do not collect $200. Now, you may be wondering what I'm using as a cleaner. Now, here's the thing. I own a motorcycle as well, and I have had to clean that. I've seen people take a garden hose and spray that motorcycle down, and I'm just thinking, especially if you're not gonna like ride it like seriously after you do all of that, it just makes me think of all the places where water is going that you can't get to, that is just gonna sit there and maybe cause rust or corrosion. So I have that same feeling for the airplane. And now again, different types of vehicles, but the philosophy is the same. I don't want water to go in places that I can't get to, that I can't dry off, that's only gonna sit there only to like rust or corrode. Wings, somewhere in the belly, all that kind of stuff. So Charlie is not going to be subjected to hoses and water gushing on it as long as I own her. That's just been my philosophy with my motorcycle, and also it's going to be the same philosophy I'm going to use for the airplane. So what am I going to do instead? Glad you asked. So I'm using this Wash Wax Off Aero Cosmetics. Now, I'm not, you know, they're not sponsoring me or anything like that, but this just seems to work very well, and I actually use it anytime I'm cleaning off. What is this crap? Beat it. I use this anytime I come back after a flight and I want to clean the wings or whatever. So I figured I'm going to use this to clean the airplane as well. Now, one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to spray the belly first, and just kind of let that sit for a couple minutes, and then spray it again. Yeah, because I have like a little spray bottle, and I do mix a little bit of water in with this, but I'm using a spray bottle instead of a hose. So that's the plan. So let's see if I can't you know, show you how I clean Charlie. And this is the first time I am cleaning the whole airplane. All right, let's get it. So as you can see, I start getting my little spray bottle ready, and I know probably some of you are gonna like completely flame me, like, wait, you're gonna clean the whole plane with that little spray bottle? Well, yeah, the answer would be yes. Okay, so I put my you know, Aerocreeper, lay it down flat, and it's time to get to work. And it's interesting because I kept saying to myself, man, I can't believe I'm gonna be doing this. And it was actually pretty cathartic. Again, I say to all of you that Aerocreeper really made the difference in terms of being able to move around. You saw in the last video, my hanger is definitely not smooth at all, but I was able to move around very easy. You know, if you're interested, the Aerocreeper website is here, and if you use the RCF10 discount code, you'll get a 10% discount at checkout. So go ahead and check out the Aerocreeper. I'm telling you, this made the job that much easier for sure. Now I know this video is voiceover heavy, but look how easy I got underneath the airplane. And you know, there's places that I'm spraying, you know, the solution on that I have never even seen before. And you know, I just love that, you know, I get to do this, you know, and it's really hard work. Now on that side that I'm on, man, the airplane is really gunky. There's oil, but more importantly, there's a lot of avgas exhaust, and it is really nasty over there. So, but as you can see, I'm able to move around pretty freely, and you know, having a creeper makes such a big difference for sure. So get under the belly of your airplane and clean that grease off. All right, I can tell you being up under there is tain't easy. Aerocreeper definitely makes it easier to move around, but it's still hard work swimming around in there. So definitely pack your patience. And as you can see, I've gone through that spray bottle pretty good. So, and that's just the first sprays that I'm gonna let sit on there. Gonna go back under and do some more spraying, but there's like from the tires forward is where I'm gonna start. Then I'm gonna take Aerocreeper on the other side of this lip, because behind the tires there's like this little lip, so I can put the Aerocreeper down there, and I'll do the aft in the belly, aft of the tires on the underbelly, you know, once I go down there. So gonna go back under and spray a little bit more, and you know, continue on. After refilling my body, I go back under the belly to, you know, get that good first coat in, and I've sprayed pretty aggressively. So I come back on out and, you know, get myself a break from laying down and get ready to either do another coat or start cleaning proper. All right, I'm gonna let that sit for a minute, and it's already pretty sticky under there. You can see, just wiping my hands off, and yeah, it's definitely gonna be interesting underneath there for sure. I would imagine that I'll probably go through pretty much all of those gray towels, but we'll see. So I'm just letting that sit for a second, and you know, let it work on that grease and oil a little bit. And as I just wait, you know, we'll see we'll see what it's like. But I can imagine that is going to be pretty tiring, because I can already feel that there's parts of that underneath that belly that are just coated with grease and oil and all kinds of stuff. But you know what I'm hoping is that if I do this more consistently and I don't let years go by, that maybe it won't be as difficult to deal with. So that's definitely the plan. And man, I am so sorry that I let the stadium take my little pocket knife. Well, I didn't have a choice. They took it anyway. But I went to a Sixers game, and I had this keychain with this like little knife on it. It was awesome. All right, so you can see I'm going to be grabbing a couple of these gray. Oh, these things are really small. Yeah. I'm probably going to be going through these pretty quickly, so, but that's okay. It's better than nothing, right? And so I'll start with those three. And this time, since I've already gone over some of that, it's kind of like 50-50. So the first spray bottle, it was more 70-30. But with this one, since I'm going back over it, I'm putting a little bit more water in there this time. And again, this may not be the quickest or the easiest, but this is the best way I know to do this. And maybe I don't get to everything today, right? Maybe I just get to the underside, but it's okay. The one thing I really wanted to make sure that I did do is I wanted to get that underbelly for sure, and that front part of the nose. So, all right, let's get under there. Let's start cleaning. Okay, so it's time for me to get back underneath the airplane, and as you can see, I'm not real eloquent with it yet, but you know, getting there. But you know, I got to tell you again, I know I keep talking about the creeper, but you know, it really did make this job so much easier. Now, I got to tell you, wiping underneath there, man, I saw so much grease and grime. It was crazy. But like I said, the creeper made it that much easier to get underneath there and do what I had to do. Next section. Oh yeah. This is starting to get to, you can see. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. It just feels like I'm smearing on like molasses, syrup, peanut butter, all mixed together. That's what this feels like. I mean, it was so thick and viscous, it was really hard to move it at all. And that's not even the middle section. The middle section is going to be the worst. This is actually this is getting into it, but not deep into it. So I think what would be prudent is to get another rag at this point so you can see the difference. That's the difference between the two now. Clean rag, used rag. All right, so I need to spray some more spray. All right, let's get into it. Yeah, that's much better. Still greasy, but the grease is actually being cut and coming off and not just smearing. Oh, that is rough. Ah. Yeah, this is going to take some time for sure. The other thing is kind of cool about being under here is I get to see some of the little boo-boos that Charlie has under here on her paint. You know, just little chips here and there, little dings. Now, I haven't done any off-field activity yet, like landing on grass strips or anything like that. But you know, you still run into stuff. So it's kind of just interesting to see the different stuff underneath here. Yeah, this is coming along. This is just good old-fashioned elbow grease here. That's what you need at the end of the day. That's all this is. Good old-fashioned elbow grease and a decent cleaner. But this is looking much better. I should have done a before shot, but I think if you look at that other video I made about the Aerostar that I'm on now, you can see when I was testing the equipment, I rolled underneath the airplane, and so I had not touched anything prior to that, or after that video. This is the first I'm actually underneath here. The reason why I didn't do anything is because I knew we still needed to finish some of the post-annual inspection stuff, and so I hadn't done anything. So that's a good before. So if you want to know what it looked like before, if you just go to that Aerocreeper video, you'll be able to check it out and see. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn off the camera and just get busy here, and I'll come back after I have made a little bit more progress, maybe when I'm on the other side of the lip here. So gonna keep after it, keep working, and I'll see you when I have made some more progress, but definitely making some progress for sure. All right, see you in a few. All right, so I'm pretty much done with the belly. I'll show it to you in a second, but I wanted you to see this airplane right here. It's pretty cool. Check this out. That is an awesome little airplane. That is nice. Okay, so I finished the entire belly. I'll take you underneath so you can see what it looks like. She looks pretty good under there. I will tell you, I found out where all the oil goes when it leaves from the engine. I thought it would be like directly under this cowling. Oh no, closer to the tail. So got to show you a few things that I discovered too while I was under here. And that's why I'm glad that I got into this exercise, as I definitely learned a few things. So gonna get on the creeper here and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So let me see. Oh, all right. So here's a few things that I learned. One, I learned that this light is like silver. So that's the light that flashes to let people know that you're taxiing or moving. And I was thought this light was black. So because it was black, because it was covered in grease and dirt and whatever. Now here's where the other lights were that were removed, and it was replaced by this LED light. And so that was interesting. And here's what I was telling you before. The mismatch of the covers, that's pretty cool. I like that. And then just different things underneath, like the antennas and stuff. But as you can see, she's clean. That is clean. Now, I still got like a little spot there. I'm gonna do a little touch up. But man, she's good. And you can see she's shining underneath there. So, yeah, but from here back was torturous. Okay, so I'm going to get myself some lunch and then I'll finish this madness. I will say physical labor. So the belly itself took me, I think, 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours of cleaning. And definitely a lot of elbow grease. So I'm gonna get myself something to eat and I'll come back. And I am thinking that a lot of the rest of this stuff shouldn't be too bad because it won't be as caked with oil and whatnot. So I'm gonna go get myself some lunch, and I'll see you guys on the other side of that, and we'll get underneath the wings, underneath the elevator, and then maybe I'll call it quits and save the other surfaces for another day. I think it's supposed to rain in the afternoon, so maybe that's when I'll do it. But definitely got the entire belly clean, and so I feel pretty good about that. All right, lunchtime. Okay, so I had a great lunch and I got right back to work. And so one of the things that I decided to do was to start with the elevator and, you know, then go from there. Now, full disclosure, I didn't want to go back over to the wings yet because I really wanted to finish this part of the airplane and then maybe get to the top half as well. I was definitely running out of gas. You know, just the whole act of cleaning and moving underneath and all that kind of stuff. Brother was starting to get a little stiff. So definitely, you know, needed to, you know, at least finish the entire bottom to feel that sense, you know, of accomplishment. And again, Aerocreeper for the win. By the way, when I was working, I got a visit from one of my hangar mates. It was definitely a very good excuse to stop rubbing, and I was looking for any excuse that I could to stop all this physical labor. Is this Russ Can Clean? This is Russ Can Clean! That belly sucks!
There's a product called Buddha Belly.
Oh my gosh.
I would recommend Buddha Belly.
Oh.
Option B, low lift.
Two options.
I don't care.
Okay. So I was using this blue stuff.
Yeah, that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it works
Oh,
good.
somebody sent me a gift.
Nice, that's a good product.
An Aerocreeper.
Is that the one that's got the electric?
It doesn't.
Oh, the electric one's nice.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So yes, I just finished the belly. I went and had lunch. So now I'm doing the underside of the elevator. Okay, so I'm all done and I am exhausted. I feel like I just ran a marathon, but she looks fantastic. So just show you around some of the surfaces so you can see the sun is glistening off the cowling. Wings are nice and clean. No more fingerprints. Cleaned off the side. Didn't get the windscreens yet, but yeah, I'm just tired. But everything else is looking pretty good. And no more the dust, you know, and fingerprints and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, she's looking pretty good. Sexy mama. So yeah, so that was some work. And went through a bunch of these, but, you know, even though these things were kind of cheapy, they actually ended up working out pretty good. So I'm gonna pop up for a minute, you know, just move the oil around. How can I not? You see the sun on my face, right? So that's my reward for job well done. So yeah, it'll just be something quick, nothing much, just to, you know, any chance I get when it's cold, and actually it's not that cold, but anytime during the winter I get to move the oil around, definitely gonna do that. So anyway, I know this video was a little different, but this is all part of the journey. When I started this YouTube channel, one of the things that I promised was I was gonna show every aspect that I could as it relates to aviation. Now, I never knew that it would entail airplane ownership. And so since that is on the radar screen, no pun intended, gotta show that too. And it is now 4 o'clock. So I've been doing this since pretty much like 8:30, 9 o'clock. So yeah, full day. And like I said, I am tired and sore, but it's well worth it. I've discovered a couple things, you know, missing screw here and there, but nothing else. But definitely that belly light. I mean, I'm telling you, I always thought that thing was black. You know what I mean? So here it is, it's silver. And I know I said that before, but whatever. But yeah, no, she's looking good. And I just feel good about the fact that, you know, I really am trying to do my best to be a good steward. I see you, bird. Be a good steward and take care of her to the best of my ability. And that's what I promised that I would do, you know. So thank you, Lord, for providing this conveyance. I do not put it before you, but it's for your glory. And I thank you for giving me the opportunity to come out here and spend some time with it. And thank you for it. And now I want to thank all of you for taking the time to watch this video. Who knows what's next, but yeah, this was a long time. This took a long time. Even holding this camera hurts. Oh my gosh. So anyway, gonna do some laps in the pattern or something, so I want to get to it. So again, I want to thank you all for taking this crazy journey with me. I don't know where this came from, but all I know is I'm glad that it's here. So thank you all. I will see you in the next one. Russ can fly. I'm out. Peace.